Hi, Ray. How are you?
I'm good. How we feeling? How we feeling?
What's going on?
You know, I'm doing okay. We're here. Are we live? Are we on?
We're live.
are
We're
live,
on.
We're
yeah.
on. Oh, jeez. They
Is,
just throw you right in.
Are you
don't
just
they?
a naturally positive person? He comes in all happy.
Listen, man, I'm living life. I'm enjoying it. You only
He's
get
in,
one.
He's in a DC franchise. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
and
living life right now.
and
He's doing well.
Look at he's the best looking human being I've ever met.
That's not. Get out of here. I appreciate
well,
you
Ryan
saying
Reynolds
so.
and then you.
I was gonna say, yeah, you can't. Don't
You're the
Ryan
best
Reynolds will
looking
find
person
you.
in this room, but let's be honest, it's a very low bar.
It is.
This is not exactly a giant thing to feel great about.
Is it? Because I was watching Justice League Monday, and I saw Wonder Woman. Obviously, I've seen all these movies, but like for some reason, it just struck me when I was watching Justice League. Like I have an incredible crush on Gal Gadot. Is it intimidating to work with somebody who's that good looking?
No, I mean I feel like she's just as nice, if not nicer, than she is good looking. If
Yeah,
that
that
makes any
would
sense.
scare me.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I mean it's a warmth, you know, and I think there's a sort of magnetism. But she, you know, when she talks to you, she never makes you feel intimidated in that way. As far as I've known, everybody was super welcoming on the production, though.
How is it to get because Cyborg is an important superhero in Justice League, but you know you Aquaman, you're revealing Aquaman for the first time. Batman.
Speaking of good looking, by the way.
I was gonna say,
Great,
yeah, no.
but Flash, but you three, Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman. This is your first appearance for DC.
Yeah.
and you're next to Batman, the whole and Superman.
Well, he's dead. He's not in this movie. So
Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna. I know.
Yeah, he's on the cover of the Post, so
Yeah,
I'm pretty
that's
sure cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, but I'm not
told
gonna
you?
spoil it.
Also, his logo is on the.
Is the logo on there? That's just for
Happy Meal,
posterity's sake.
Happy Meal, you get a Superman thing too. But how was it? Were you intimidated working with all these guys? And and she, Wonder Woman, and Batman already have done movies together. And
Everybody, you know, the crazy thing is everybody was super welcoming. There was this sort of team camaraderie before we even stepped on set.
Yeah.
You know, back when they were shooting Batman v Superman, and I was, you know, getting test makeup on for that scene. You know, the makeup trailer starts rocking back and forth, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? It's an earthquake. And in pops Jason Momoa, just bear hugs, like it's all love. You
Yeah.
know, it was such a strange thing because, you know, we knew we'd be in it for the long haul too.
can you explain the
Yeah.
backstory of your character?
Sure.
Because it isn't as well known as Aquaman.
It's
and
not. No,
right.
Cyborg was actually created in the 1980s for a comic run called the New Teen Titans. And he's a college athlete who has a tragic accident befall him. And in order to save his life, his father uses alien technology that basically saves his life but turns him into a cyborg. So he has super strength, super durability. He can access anything technological. He can fly, and it helps maintain and regulate his body functions.
And what's his
So-
weakness?
His weakness? I mean, there's no specific weakness that is represented with him.
Right.
I think a lot of his struggle is an internal one because unlike the other superheroes,
Right.
he can't take off the suit. You know, he's cyborg 24/7.
Right.
He
Everybody
also-
else can go live a normal life and just give it up.
He doesn't
He's
know
just
how to
him.
work all of it, right?
You say what? He doesn't know how to work all of it just
Right.
yet either.
He doesn't
His
know how to
powers
work all the things.
His powers are new, so
Right.
it being alien technology,
So
it's going
he's-
to continue to evolve.
So he's
and-
figuring it out as he.
absolutely as best he can.
So I was reading that you gained a whole bunch of muscle mass for this movie. But then I saw the movie, and like your whole body is CGI'd out because you're like a robot
Yeah.
in the movie. So I was like, why would they make you?
So I could have
gain
done it.
all
I
that-
could have done it.
Right.
Well,
like,
there-
why would they make you gain all that muscle mass if they're just gonna?
Well, there's some sequences that we shot of Cyborg prior to his accident, and so to portray the college quarterback, you know, I ended up putting on about 30 pounds.
Right.
So also with respect to the costume itself,
Yeah.
because I'm in a onesie the entire time. Everybody else has a practical
Nice.
costume which weighs about 30, 40 pounds, and for me having that extra weight made me feel outside of my body. So it kind of put me in a different posture. So it actually helped with the physicality of everything as well.
How long did it take you to put the weight on?
Around a year and a half. Oh, sorry.
No.
Sorry.
I mean, for me, because my body responds pretty quickly to what I do for the positive or for the negative. So, they were just shoving food, steaks, chicken, fish, quinoa, 5 meals a day, 3 big meals, 2 small meals, and in the gym 2 hours a day working out.
So they were telling you what you needed to eat.
Oh, for sure. They
yeah.
provided everything, and diet is maybe, I would say 95% of anything physical you do. And so for me to get to the maximum weight, I was at about 193 when we started, and I was 224 by the time I was at my maximum. We
But all
finished.
muscle.
I would hope so, yeah.
What did you do before you acted?
Before I was acting, I think this is all I've been doing since I was about 16.
Okay,
16
so your
years
whole
old.
life has been.
Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from New Jersey.
He's from
Where?
near
Where?
Cambridge.
Yeah.
What town?
Yeah, down at Lawnside is the town. It's near
South Jersey?
South Jersey, near
Oh.
Cherry Hill. Oh, come on,
Oh,
get out
South
of here.
Jer-
Where are you
no.
from? Are you from
I'm
Jersey?
Norton, Plainfield.
Okay. Well, that's our
North Jersey. So proudly.
Well, South Jersey is the reason why they call it the Garden State, right? That's why.
Philadelphia.
Are you really fucking? Are you out of your mind? What's wrong with
It's
you?
all
By the way,
there's been this North Jersey South Jersey rivalry for such a long time now. People are talking about the South Jersey seceding from
Yeah.
North Jersey and becoming its own state.
Look, we've only known you for about 10 minutes, but I would say that anybody listening would guess that you come from a better area of the world than Rich Voss.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think anybody's sitting there going like, oh,
usually
if only he had Rich Voss's background.
Usually people are like, "Oh, you don't sound like you're from New Jersey," and I was like, "I'm not sure what that sounds like, but I guess South Jersey has a different accent."
Look to the left.
Is that what they-
Yeah.
Did you have to like when you get into acting, especially when you join this franchise, because this is like you said, like you're already signed on to do a Cyborg solo movie and to continue on with the group movies. Do you have to go to like accent training and drop the kind of?
No, for me, I guess where we come from in South Jersey, there isn't a sort of hard accent.
No Philly accent down there?
The Philly accent trickles over, like certain words like water, we'll say wooder instead of water.
Yeah.
But like that's easy. That's an easy fix if you want to neutralize that accent.
It's like being a newscaster. You kind of have to sound like you're
Right.
from nowhere.
Exactly. Yeah. Nowhere and everywhere.
You don't want anyone to
Simultaneous.
say, "Oh yeah, this guy lives here," or "This guy's not that."
Absolutely.
But
yeah.
so you did that. You didn't go to like an accent class or anything. You just
No,
did it
no,
yourself.
No. I went to conservatory here in New York, and
What's conservatory?
Conservatory is an intensive program where you study acting or whatever specialized field you want to be a part of. That was a 1.5-year program. Got out of there and just started pounding the pavement, trying to get involved in theater in any way, shape, or form.
What do your parents do? They,
My mom's a nurse. My mom's
Nurse?
an RN. Dad was never in the picture.
Right.
Mom's an RN, and I've got 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
do you know your dad now?
Yeah, I've known him. I known him my whole life,
Right.
but just never in the picture.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So the thing is,
Until he sees you on Justice League billboards, then he's gonna start
well,
calling up and saying, "Hey, buddy."
that's a whole different situation. But what's great about the character is because he had a very sordid relationship with his father.
Yeah.
I was able to sort of draw
Right.
from personal experience when it came to the crafting of all that. So
Is there a security in when you get a role like this, because it's such a big thing, right? Like this is the blockbuster role. It's leading to a bunch of different movies. Like it's such a big thing. Is there security knowing that this is going to continue on past one movie, or is there an intimidation factor of being like, I have
Not
to
at all.
live up to?
not at all. No security whatsoever. I feel like as an actor, you dedicate your life to uncertainty. And hopefully these movies continue. Hopefully it's well received and it makes tons of money, and people want to see more of it. But you don't want to rest on your laurels, and you definitely don't want to count on it happening because things change.
They swap people out in superhero movies
they-
too.
they
Like there's
sure-
been 19 Batmans since Michael
It's
Keaton.
funny because they have in the TV show, they already have somebody playing Cyborg.
In the cartoon show?
No, the Defenders. Am I correct?
No, that's
who-
Marvel.
No.
That's Marvel.
Bobby,
Marvel.
come on,
Sorry,
Bob.
sorry,
Stop trying to
He
pretend you're a
said,
geek.
Bobby
You're
goes,
not.
you guys let me interview Ray because I'm the biggest comic book fan. I know everything
Yeah.
about comic book. What are you talking
no.
about?
He goes, "Explain
Maybe I'm a Marvel fan.
And by the way,
just
and
trying
by
to
the way,
Who sent you?
Sorry,
Who
I'm trying
sent
to-
you?
earlier he goes like, this is your first time in this DC movie universe, and Ray had to subtly say that he was in Batman. versus Superman.
Yeah, that's what. But you said
No,
Batman
no.
v Superman. You were very
No, I
nice
meant-
about
I
it.
meant- I meant the whole
didn't
thing.
even, I didn't even
No,
mean
no.
that. No, I know what you meant.
Yeah,
in
you
a
know what
larger
I meant.
You wanted to tell him to
capacity.
shut up.
I
I
meant-
nice to
He
him.
has no
I'm
idea
not-
what he's talking about.
I meant no. I didn't mean in this movie. I know
Yeah.
he was in the Batman versus
Talk to him about
Oh.
Spider-Man
I
too.
meant- when you're in Spider-Man. No, you know what I meant.
Yeah, no, I do. But
I know what I'm talking about. You don't know any of this
Superman
stuff.
was also just like it was like a 10-second clip.
Right.
What's
so I get
Aquaman's
that.
real name?
Frank.
Jason Momoa.
Brian?
Did you say Brian? No. Who said Brian?
I said Frank.
Frank.
Yeah, I know what Aquaman's real name is.
What is it?
I'm not going to help you just because you don't know it.
There it is. There it is. Put it back
he's
on
a
him.
kid.
He does.
Please, New Teen Titans. I had the #1. I collected
Yeah.
comic books when I was a kid. It was
Really?
worth
I
money.
actually met
weren't a
Marv
kid in the
Wolfman
80s.
2 days ago, the creator of Cyborg and the New Teen Titans. He actually came to the premiere in L.A. and I geeked out. I haven't been starstruck in quite a long time, but being able to sit down and chat with Marv
Sure.
Wolfman was pretty intense.
Did you collect comics when you were a kid?
I didn't know. My mom never really got us comics, but I was a big fan of the animated series and a big fan of the movie series of everything. I'd watch everything. It didn't matter.
Is
DC,
it-
Marvel, didn't matter.
Is it hard acting?
Yes.
That's a good question. It can be. Do you have to memorize your lines, or do they tell them to you?
Is it hard acting with all the CGI? Because it's not a regular scene with another actor. Some of this stuff, the people aren't even there. You're looking at something.
You're looking at tennis balls on sticks.
It's
you're
hard,
looking
right?
at, you're looking at people wearing onesies with, huge poles on top and pretending it's a 12-foot tall monster. I feel like it requires a different skill set. I really do. But coming from theater, a lot of times you're just imagining stuff's there that's not there anyway. So you do a play in a black box theater, and there's no set, there's no nothing, there's no costumes. You're still in
just-
that same zone.
What's the first play you did?
First play I ever did was Into the Woods in high school. Yeah.
That's where he was taken.
And who did you?
Voss has to imagine crowds are there when he does his shows.
Is that it?
Oh, whoa, Bob.
Oh, Bob.
That's just mean. Richard had a hard time on the road. People don't want to come see him.
Got you.
33 years, please.
Wow, that was a double hit.
They turned off the second row from me, saying it was too real.
Yeah, it's just not necessary. Who did you play in that?
They doubled down. I played. They broke up the narrators into 3 sections, so I played the narrator, one of the narrators, and I played the wolf, which was pretty dope. Yeah,
I don't know what the play is about.
The play, it's basically Stephen Sondheim took all of Grimm's fairy tales and sort of combined it into a sort of new age imagining, and it's about the choices that people make and how fairy tales don't always end up being fairy tale endings.
Doesn't he do musicals, Stephen Sondheim?
Yeah.
So was that a musical?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you can sing.
too?
I used to. I don't sing as much as I used to, but that's how I got involved in it all. Yeah.
But you can sing.
I mean, I can hold a tune.
So can he.
Shower
So can
sing.
Voss.
Voss, show him a little bit.
When you were on Prince of
show him.
Bel-Air,
Rich, show him a little
When
bit.
I was
Rich, show him a little bit.
I
Just
lost
show-
my voice.
A little bit, please.
I lost
Come on.
my voice.
He sings?
No.
He's embarrassed because he can act. Because a lot of comedians can't sing. Rich is embarrassed
Voss.
because he did a good job in karaoke before, and he's
I can
embarrassed.
hear it in the tenor of his voice. I can
Right.
hear it.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. Now, I say your third movie.
He's doing it again. He's
Oh,
trying
no,
to
I
think of
gotta
a
go-
question.
Yeah, stop trying to think of
hold
a
on.
real question.
No,
Say
I
your
got a real
third
one.
movie.
You'll probably have enough power to maybe throw somebody in that you want. Maybe somebody from North
Oh
Jersey.
my God.
When you can ignore Rich if you'd like.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder obviously had to leave the film because of pretty severe personal reasons. Like they said, it was like 4/5 of the way done, more or less. Whatever.
No.
Was that difficult to then jump over to a different director because it was Joss Whedon?
I mean, I think it was difficult just in general. I mean, you step on the set with Zach, he treats everybody with so much dignity. Regardless of what job you're doing, you could be the janitor cleaning up, and he'll treat you with the same respect as he'd treat Ben Affleck or anybody else. He's just that kind of guy. Yeah. So losing him on the production was tough, and obviously you got to handle the situation with respect to your family. That comes first. But we sort of banded together, and it was sort of like let's do it for Zach.
Yeah.
So I feel like that sort of carries us through.
Who's
it all.
your favorite character offset when you like hanging around between scenes?
He doesn't
Funnest to
hang
hang
out
out
with
with.
the characters.
Yeah, what do you think? He just watches them make the movie?
No, because I want
I want to hang out
He
with
knows what I mean.
Aquaman.
Yeah, do you get a picture with Aquaman?
I did get a picture at
Shut
some
up.
point.
They're just trying. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Because we've been on sets.
I think Ezra, myself, and Jason clicked in a really big way.
Right,
Ezra and
okay.
Jason have known each other for many, many years, but we're all the newer guys in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mix. And Jason, he's really good at getting people out, getting people to come out and hang out, have a drink at the bar, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was super, super
Throw a
welcoming.
hatchet at a dartboard.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
That has to feel good when you realize, because you are going to be, for better or worse, hopefully stuck with these people for a few movies.
A franchise.
So when you get there and you realize that like there is this thing where they want to have a pleasant experience, because I'm sure there are people who have been stuck with actors on films that they don't like. And
Sure,
when
there's certainly people stuck on radio.
yeah,
There's like people in this room right now.
yeah.
No, I mean the crazy thing is, you know when to give people their space, and when it's time to work, it's time to work, and you try to have as much fun as you can in between takes, because honestly, you guys have seen there's a lot of downtime. There's an extreme amount of downtime. But I feel like everybody, because our personalities are so different, nobody really clashes in that way. And if you need some space, you go off and hang out in your trailer, be by yourself.
I was going to ask if you're worried at all that, because Gal Gadot has said she doesn't want to come back to be Wonder Woman unless
Brett Ratner's
Ratner is
out.
not attached
She
to
wants
the
him
movie.
completely unattached. Yeah.
When you read something like that, are you like, oh my God, like the worst case scenario, I do not want to do these movies anymore without Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Like that's
Well, no, I think it's on everybody to make the decision for themselves, whatever feels right. I mean, that if that's your conviction, that's your conviction. Go with it. You know? I'm not going to knock it. I'm not. I mean, that's it. You got every right to do what you believe.
What was?
but please don't leave.
No, you don't want me to leave? Stay in the booth with us here forever.
What was? No, he's just what he said to his wife last night. What is Fetch Clay Make Man about?
Fetch Clay Make Man is a play written by Will Power about the relationship between Muhammad Ali, the late great Muhammad Ali, and Stepin Fetchit, who was a vaudevillian actor, and was seen by some as a sort of pariah.
Did they see him as a sellout, or did they see him as someone doing a caricature?
They saw him doing a sort of sellout caricature. I think that's sort of how history had remembered him at the time. But apparently, Muhammad Ali and Stepin Fetchit knew one another in real life and were actually really good friends. And it seemed odd that Ali, who was, pro-black in the 60s, and Stepin Fetchit, who was seen as that pariah, became friends. So the play is about this, this chance meeting, right? You remember that Sonny Liston fight, the second fight, the Phantom Punch?
Yeah, where he threw that little short,
yeah. So
Ross was there.
Will
Looking around the room.
So the playwright Will Power, apparently Ali, he was quoted as saying that Stepin Fetchit had taught him that punch. Right, which Ali, some of the things he was saying, were sort of outlandish, and
sure.
But other things, you didn't know whether or not he was being truthful or whether or not he was just putting that Ali sauce on it. And so Will Power was like, well, what if Stepin Fetchit actually really did teach him that punch? And what would that look like? What would that meeting look like? And so it's this sort of fictitious meeting between Ali and Stepin Fetchit, where Ali's trying to get Stepin Fetchit to teach him the anchor punch, the phantom punch that he claims Stepin Fetchit learned from Jack Johnson, the first black heavyweight champ of the world. So yeah.
So it's a fictional meeting between two people who actually really knew each other.
Absolutely.
And you played Ali.
I played Ali in that, yeah.
And what kind of pressure is that? Because he's such a recognizable person. You're playing a guy who everybody knows what he's supposed to look like and what he's supposed to sound like.
Yeah. In the original run of the play, I was playing a non-speaking ensemble member. I was a really skinny kid, really green, and Ben Vereen was playing Stepin Fetchit at that point in time. And when I stepped into that play, I told him, I said, listen, if this ever moves to New York, like, I want to understudy Ali. And he's like, listen, man, if you start working on it now, you could play Ali. And I was like, well, let me get working on it. And that's when I started eating everything and get my hands on, following where the production was at, fiending, lusting after this thing for about 3 years for a play that was going off Broadway, which is kind of unheard of, right? You spend a lot of time in that way. And it ended up working out in a really, really big way. I had a lot of lead-up time to get really acclimated to who I believed Ali to be, and just getting my interpretation of it down. So by the time we actually stepped onto the scene, like, I felt super comfortable,
And you had the voice down?
I had a little bit of the voice down.
What is? Can we hear it?
Let me see if I can whip something up. Hold on. I done wrestle with an alligator. I done tussle with a whale. I done handcuff lightning, throw thunder in jail. Why, just today I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick. I'm bad.
That's a good Ali.
That was really good.
I see you as the other character.
That's a good. That's a good. Well,
That's
you're sitting next to
funny. That was
Angelo.
good.
You're sitting next to Angelo Dum D. Wow. That's. Did you ever meet him? Did you ever get to meet him?
I did not get a chance to meet him, unfortunately, no. And we were shooting Justice League at the time when he passed away last year. And they had this great exhibit at the O2 Center out there, and it was really special to see. You got to see a lot of the memorabilia from his like home. Like, they had the like some of the molding from like the door of his childhood, you know, and just to be able to see and be in the presence of like these sort of like humbling articles of history, was like, it brings him into a sort of real perspective.
We interviewed Joe Frazier one time when he was promoting that the documentary he did about the Thriller in Manila, I think, and you realize that Ali was as much as he was loved, there was another side to Ali too, where he could be a little vindictive, and he was a human being, and he had as a complete guy. And when you listen to Frazier talk, you're like, you kind of felt bad for Frazier a little bit too, the shit that he had to take.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's the crazy thing I think about Ali, was that he's transformed so many times over the course of his life. If there's anything, he shows you the power of transformation. And I think by the time it was getting toward the end of his life, he sort of reached this place of being universally beloved. But when he first started out, people wanted him like dead. When he was part of the Nation of Islam and growing up, and when he converted to change his name from from Cassius Clay to Cassius X, then Cassius X to Muhammad Ali. Like he was a figure of controversy. I mean, going through Vietnam and all that. But I think Ang Lee, one of his next projects is a 3D boxing movie about Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier and their rivalry, and I think they touch upon that aspect a little bit. Just looking at it from both sides, because
a 3D movie,
3D boxing movie, yeah, it's just like this crazy technology that he wants to use to really immerse you in the boxing match in
and
a way
if it's
that you've
Ang
never
Lee,
seen before.
if it's Ang Lee, I would imagine the fight scenes are going to be like incredible.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
And that's actually how I ended up getting a little bit to this point. He had actually come and saw that play 3 years ago now, 3.5, 4 years ago, and that ended up creating a lot of hype, and that's how I got my first agent and manager, and ended up taking the trip out to L.A. and meeting the folks from Warner Brothers and getting involved with the Justice League of it all.
So do you want to play Ali in the movie?
I mean, if it comes around and everything works out, yeah. I mean, that'd be a great thing to do. I would love to don the mantle, but
what type of a time commitment is the Justice League stuff though? Because like obviously that movie is shot and done and it's out on Friday.
Yeah.
But like in terms of carrying on the Cyborg character, does that mean most things have to be put on hold for a few years?
No. I mean, we're not going to shoot the next thing. I don't think it's not even on the docket yet. Everything is sort of still in the production phase, the pre-production phase. So, I mean, these things will come out and then they'll be gone. But you're able to find pockets of time to slip projects in. My thing is though, like, I want to do things that I'm actually passionate about. Things that I actually care about. I don't want to work for the sake of working, because then you end up just sort of watering down what it is you love. And for me, I'm like, look, I got too little time on this earth, and your gift is too precious to go ahead and just go, all right, let me just do it for the sake of doing it. See,
that's a very positive attitude. We should all incorporate a positive attitude. There's a lot of negativity in this room.
It's also a positive attitude of getting the big superhero movie.
Yes. A good-looking guy who's playing it is nice to play a superhero.
The moment could come where you're like, you know what? I also want to eat. So
well, listen, I've had those moments here in New York, in conservatory. There are a lot of days where I was broke, had to move back into my mom's house multiple times back to New Jersey. Tell her, hey, listen, Mom, you still got that basement? Because I know I said last time would be the last time, but here we are now. And, I've been on the grind in a really big way. Coming out here, my buddy Jerron, who I went to school with, still a really good friend of mine. It got to the point where it's like, look, I've got peanut butter, you've got bread. Let's make some sandwiches. You know what I mean? Like that kind of feel. So I know what that life is like. But even then, even at the lowest of the low, I still felt this sort of sense of calm about the situation, because I'm like, you know what? It's about the small victories. Like even doing like the off Broadway things. Like it was something that I wanted to do. It was something I was passionate about. I was willing to make the sacrifice for that.
Is it hard to go from the transition from instant gratification of being on stage to movies where you're just No, it's like
I'm not laughing at you.
You are.
I am not laughing at you.
Yes, you are, Bichetti.
I'm not laughing at you.
You are.
I'm laughing at my friends laughing at you.
No. Ask the question. This is deep.
That's a good question, though.
Yeah.
I know where you're going.
You've probably never gotten it before. Either.
The fact that he just said, "I know where you're going with this," that's his nice way of going. Shut up. I'll answer it.
No.
You're a nice person. He's not. It's a terrible question.
We've already bonded.
Like a lion's den in here, man.
With a bear.
No, I mean there is a certain level of not knowing, because with theater you get that you get the applause in the same day. It's like stand-up comedy. I mean, like the energy of the audience informs the performance, and you get it and you walk away and do the show again the next day. With this, it's so much waiting. You're just like, all right, well, we did that performance, we did the take, and now it's in the hands of the editor and the post-production people to ultimately make it look like what we hope it looks like.
Stop taking pride in the fact that he could answer your question when you didn't even get to finish asking it.
You didn't
he still
finish
knew what it
your
was.
question.
He still knew exactly.
His professionalism saved it.
First of all, don't you ever address me. He can. All right.
Can I ask you a question? Was there any part of not you? Was there any part of this movie that was dangerous? Did you ever almost get hurt filming it?
No, for the most part, no. They do wet the sets down a lot just to get some like reflective surfaces, and
that was one thing in movies that I learned is that you see the streets and they always look like it just rained out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. And
That's for
They
lights.
do that for light, and
Yeah,
they bounce it. They bounce it off. And these are things I didn't even know. Like,
Because if you don't have a wet street, it just looks
it's just,
fucking.
it's just
really?
matte.
You're telling
It's just
him
matte.
that?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know. I didn't know
I
anything.
didn't know that either.
I didn't know any of this stuff.
We
This-
didn't know.
this
Making
is
movies.
the first technical side of things.
Making movies.
The old industry vet.
Yeah, exactly. How come it always rains? Honestly,
It's always after a rainy day. There's always a sunrise. Things happening.
We have to-
Well, no,
couple movies I did, whatever.
coming into this though, like learning about all those technical aspects, I'm like a kid in the candy store. I'm like, oh, what's this do? What's that do? Why are they doing that with these like metallic balls? Why are they like spraying down the street with water? And everybody was super knowledgeable and just willing to go ahead and give me the information that I
Did they
needed.
give you any? Did they give you the suit? Did they give you anything from?
Man, I was from the suit. No, I didn't. That was just pajamas. I was ready to leave that behind
Did they
at
give
the
you?
set.
Did they give you anything cool?
I got something cool. I don't know if I should say on radio. 'Cause
Really?
they may not know I have it, but
oh no.
Hope it's Scarlett Johansson.
no, that's Marvel.
I
in
don't
the
know
movie.
anything.
What are you talking
Oh,
about?
sorry.
Oh my
Sorry.
God.
Oh,
It's not in the movie.
See, you're the wrong one. The two of you claim to know comic books.
I never said I know it.
Shut
I
up.
don't know anything
Stop
about
pointing
it.
at me with your little hands.
I've actually seen the film that you were in.
Thank you.
And,
I'm going to
That's
see it
cool.
tomorrow night.
That's great. The Hulk is great in it.